Welcome to the Hold the Vision podcast. I am your hostess, Chidzz, Chiddy, whatever you want to call me, because I get called all sorts. And we're back. Yes, we're back with another one-to-one, another beautiful collaboration with a beautiful woman. Davina, please introduce yourself. Tell us about you.
Hi, thank you. We made it out the DMs. Yay.
Made it out yeah, me and this girl been going back and forth, back and forth, and we've been meaning to do a live, and it's just life be life in and all those things, but we finally did it. I always say I believe in divine timing anyway. This is the time.
Absolutely.
I'm so glad I've got to speak to
Absolutely.
you now as well, whilst I just want to hear about your journey and I just want to know more. So yeah, tell us about you.
Yeah, I'm Davina, aka Digital Davina as well. And I'm from the UK, born and bred in Manchester. I literally lived within the same postcode for like 40 years. And now I live in Costa Rica.
Hey, you did it, you did it. Costa
Did
Rica.
do
And
it.
can we just take a moment to appreciate your beautiful background? Like your
Thank
background is
you.
just that's
Yeah,
what
I'm
you
at
wake up
home. This is
to.
this is my home.
That's your home. That's what I mean. That's what you wake up to every single day. What is it like? What does it feel like to wake up every single day and just see that as your surroundings?
Do you know what? It just feels calm. Like my bedroom doors are literally facing this view, so it's just you just wake up feeling calm. That's the only word I can really use right now. It's just a serene thing. You just
It
think,
sounds
wow,
calm. It sounds
yeah, it
calm.
never
I
gets
don't know.
old.
I don't know if you can hear in my background. I got an ice cream van going around at 8:45 in the evening. Like, what's
Yeah,
going
no,
on?
it's calm. It's not quiet. So right now it's eerily quiet. But
Okay.
normally there are dogs barking, cockerels crowing, motorbikes going past because it's like a country road. Someone's randomly driving past playing Budget Banton. It's just kids playing in the street. It's a nice like ambience.
Oh, do you know what?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I would give anything to have that over this in the UK. UK is so depressing. It's so depressing, and it's like we'll get into those kind of different things as we get go on. But I've kind of listed a few topics. So I've you know how it goes. We usually do like three topics. I've got a scenario for you as well, which is going to be
Okay.
quite cool. Yeah, it's actually quite a fitting one as well. It's really good. I think you could give some good advice on it. But our
Okay.
first topic is life's journey and manifestation. And I want
Mm.
to talk about what that means to you because I don't know if I'm wrong or if I'm right, but has manifestation played a part in why you are where you are now?
Do you know what? I've only just, and I say only just, I'm talking about in the last 2 to 3 weeks, just mastered or just really understood manifesting. Like it's been
Okay.
part of my journey for a long time. Involved in, well, in, I've been, looking at the law of attraction and things like that for years. Like
Yeah.
since The Secret came out, I was all over it. I read the
Yeah.
book, then watched the movie, listened to the audio book. I was doing my vision boards and all of it, but I didn't quite get it. And it's
Okay.
only now that I'm getting it and I see it like working like that. But I do believe manifestation has had played a part in me being here and living the life that I'm living. Not just my manifestation, but that of my wife's manifestation.
Of
She
your wife's
manifested me.
manifestation. Yeah. That's what I mean. Yeah.
She's
Like
got a whole
I
story
want to
of
talk
that.
about that.
Yeah.
She's amazing. She's absolutely amazing. And you can tell. Do you know, even by just like, because I've been following you both for a while now, and even just by looking at your life and the things that you put out there, you can tell that you know that she manifested you. But do you think you subconsciously manifested her?
Definitely subconsciously. I met my ex-husband when I was 15, started seeing him when I was 16. He was a lot older than me. And
Okay.
I didn't leave until I was 40. That's when I physically
Okay.
left the house. Emotionally, I think I checked out a long time before that, but physically I left when I was 40. And I think I left knowing that there was something more. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what form that would take, whether that be a person, a career, love, whatever it was, but I just knew there was more to life. I felt suffocated and I knew there was more to life. So I took the
Okay.
chance, and for the first time in my life, I branched out on my own, and yeah, just kind of with this really calm assurance that there's more, and the universe will bring me more. I just need to do the work.
Yeah.
And yeah, I did some like alternative therapy while I was on my own and everything, and just kind of like work through things. The biggest thing I had to work through was guilt. I felt so guilty for leaving, felt so bad for choosing me. And I had to really, really work really hard through that guilt.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I didn't want to hurt anyone else, and I tried to make things as easy as possible as I could, but I had a lot of guilt that I had to work through. And once I realized it's okay, you know, we've got to at some point choose ourselves,
Yeah.
um, then just things just started to happen, you know, just lots of learning curves, lots of things. And yeah, our whole like meet cute story is so beautiful. And that was just so many different things happened that night. It was so weird. But yeah, my life was completely changed, you know, and it changed before I met her.
Okay.
The night I met her, I just knew that she was home. She was my home. She felt like home,
Oh my
and
God, that's so
that's all I
beautiful.
knew. That's all I knew. Fast forward a month later, we're living together. Fast forward 4 months after that, we're married. Right,
And some
5 months after
people,
that, we were living in Bovista.
this is what I mean. And some people will say, you know, yeah, but that's too soon and it's too fast. Listen, I truly believe, yeah, you can be with somebody for, 40 odd years, like yourself, and just not find that element of happiness that fulfills you, that makes you feel complete, that nurtures you and makes you feel safe. And then you could meet somebody, and within minutes you can know,
Yeah,
I believe in that. I believe in energy, and I believe in that connection. You can meet someone and you can bond so much that you said she feels like home. That's the
yeah,
feeling. I
that was
feel
it.
like
That was
that's the
the
feeling
thing.
that love should feel that way, you know?
Yeah, I know she happened to be a woman. I didn't know how my family would take it. I've got two kids. They're now in their early 20s, but like everyone was just like, okay, cool. But I wasn't bothered. I actually wasn't bothered what they think or say. I didn't know, didn't care. All I knew is that she was my person.
Yeah,
Um, you know, and yeah, I mean, it just worked out amazingly. And one of the things we said in our first conversation was, "Where do you want to live?" Because neither of us wanted to live in the UK.
yeah.
So we knew that day one, that was a goal. That was something that we both were committed to. Both of us wanted, so we were going to make it happen. So we
Look
did.
at that. So you met. You both didn't want to be in the UK. You both wanted to live elsewhere. How did you come to the conclusion of where you were going to
Oh
go?
gosh. So we were like, oh, because I before prior to that, I just assumed it was going to be Jamaica. I'm, you know, Jamaican heritage.
Yeah.
My biological father is actually from Cameroon, so there's
Okay.
also African heritage too. But been brought up in a Jamaican household,
Yeah.
and so it's going to be Jamaica. But obviously, then that puts a spanner in the works because Jamaica's not the most gay friendly country. So
It's not.
although we probably would be all right, I don't want to be anywhere where I didn't feel comfortable or couldn't just be myself. I mean, you know, we're discreet people. We're not walking down the street snogging or anything, but it's just knowing that you're not going to be in any kind of trouble. And
Yeah.
then we thought, okay, how about Barbados? And then we're like, yeah, Barbados. And then we actually did a bit of research and realized that that's more homophobic than Jamaica. So that was
Yeah.
off the cards.
Yeah.
And then I think it was French Guiana. We were like, okay,
Okay.
that's in the Caribbean. That's you know, very eclectic in the mix of what's there. It's obviously predominantly black culture because it had to be somewhere with a black culture.
Yeah, because
I didn't
that's
want to go
important.
somewhere like
Mm.
Spain or whatever and just feel like it was England, like it was Blackpool or something on a nice day.
Yeah.
I want to feel like I'm around my culture. Um, and that was a thing, but just something about it just didn't feel right.
Okay.
And I remember saying something about thinking about Portugal, thinking, I wonder if Portugal's got like a black community. And I know actually it does have a black community, but I wanted like a black kind of feel to it. And my auntie said, how about Cape Verde, the
Yeah.
Portuguese islands, but
Yeah.
off the coast of Senegal. So we were like, okay, cool. We booked our flights to go on a honeymoon there. And then when we were there, we checked out like apartments and things like that. And we found an apartment, literally, again, randomly. We were looking, asked a taxi driver, where do people live? Take us to where people live. Went there, saw this girl in the pool. She knew the taxi driver. She knew someone who was renting an empty apartment, called someone, they came and showed it us straight away. They said it was available, they'll hold it for us.
Wow.
And we
Look at
came
that.
back, sold everything, just literally sold everything on like eBay and whatever, and just went.
And you
Um,
just left.
we just left. We sold everything, because obviously with me having moved out, I was now renting,
Okay.
and Annie had sold her houses before that 'cause she was renting in Wales. She was actually living in Larne in
Yeah,
South
she was in,
Wales.
yeah,
Yeah,
because
she
I
living the
live in
best
Cardiff.
life, surfing and doing all that.
Yeah.
So both of us had no right think nothing like that, because my ex and the kids still live in the other house that I do own, so that's separate. And then so
Okay.
we had no ties to mortgages or anything like that, so we just sold everything that we had, which wasn't much. And yeah, we went out there and we were living in this like condo. You couldn't make the view of the ocean, and the beach was literally across the road. It was stunning. Like, so I could say
Oh,
I've done that. I took that off. That was something that was on my vision board ages ago, to live in this like beachfront condo with the
yeah.
glass ceilings and all that. But it wasn't all it was cracked up to be.
Okay.
Yeah. So we just didn't really. It was beautiful. It felt like we were on holiday the whole time,
Okay.
which we probably were. We had like the longest honeymoon ever. But we
As
weren't
you do.
inspired. Yeah, I wasn't inspired to create. I wasn't inspired to grow. And
Okay.
it was, yeah, it was becoming very, I'm going to say colonized. I'm not even going to say,
Okay.
yeah, colonized basically. And it was horrible to watch.
Oh
It was
God.
really horrible to watch and horrible to be part, and to think you somehow contributing to being part of that. And
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
um, and the worst thing about it was we were in Boa Vista, which is beautiful for holidays. Hotels obviously have loads of food and stuff, and all inclusive food and everything. But the rest of the island, the food is not saying much.
Nothing.
Doesn't
Yeah.
Nothing grows there because it's a desert island. It's pure
But
sand and beaches, and so everything's
yeah,
imported by ship. And it's kind of like, by the time it gets to you in the shops and supermarkets, it's like shoveled up and whatever. Not much
it's
choice,
done.
not much flavour.
Yeah.
Eating out was hit and miss. So we love food, and so we couldn't live somewhere where we weren't enjoying food. It just wasn't a life that we could look forward to.
Yeah.
So we
Because
were
it makes a
like,
difference.
yeah, absolutely. Um, we did a fast at the beginning of 2004, a water
Okay.
fast. I
Okay.
did a week. I've done it before, where I've done like 21 days, like ages ago. I was telling Annie about it, and there's a guy that I follow on Instagram, and he had a retreat in Costa Rica, like a water
Oh
fasting
wow.
retreat. And so I was introducing her to his videos, and we were watching those, and she did like a 28-day fast.
Oh my God.
And then after we finished it, we were like, we can't go back to eating this rubbish. And then we kept looking at things. Where can we go? Where can we go? And just different things about Costa Rica kept coming up. Like I'd randomly see some account that I really liked. I'm like, oh, where's that? Costa Rica. See something else, Costa Rica. I'm like, oh, you know what? Let's
Lot
look
of
into it.
attraction.
Let's look into it. Followed a YouTuber, got in contact with her, a black woman who'd left Atlanta to come here, another woman who'd left LA to come here. Got in touch with both of them, and they both were really helpful, giving advice on what we could do when we got here, all the rest of it. And then so we just booked flights, booked 28 days in an Airbnb, and packed up everything. Okay.
I just admire the fact that you two can just pack up everything at any given time. I think that's what it is. You have to go for things in life. Sometimes we think about all the things that are going to hold us back, like family and work and this, that, and the other. Listen, you can relocate and work in any place from any place in the world. The world is such a big place, but yeah, we become so restricted to where we are. And why is that? It's like breaking those chains kind of thing, isn't it? Big up to everybody who is joining. Nad says, a beautiful Nad, she says, that's how spiritual connection works. It's such a beautiful feeling. And that's in regards to you and Annie. I think it's beautiful. One question I wanted to ask you, if you don't mind me asking.
It's all
So,
right.
do you think that you said obviously you were worried about your family, thinking, because she's a woman and stuff. Do you think it was a thing where you were maybe bisexual already, or did you just fall in love with a person?
I think both.
Yeah.
I think both. Yeah, both.
Okay.
I wasn't out looking for anybody. I was actually like in the middle of wrapping up a complication. So I
Yeah.
was out on a night out. Literally, it's a boat party, a Trevor Nelson boat party in Bristol on Thekla, that Thekla boat
Yeah.
party. Omar was singing. I was like, I want to go see Omar. And yeah, we just started dancing and we just danced the night away. Didn't even exchange names or numbers that night or anything. Um, and we just knew. She went back to her hotel, literally rang her best mate and said, I've just found my wife. And
Oh,
my
that's
friend was
so
like, what's the
beautiful.
name? She's like, I don't know.
But she
And
know
I was just all
you
weekend
were a
saying,
wife.
yeah, that girl with the dimples and the dimples and the dimples. And I couldn't shut up about bloody dimples to my friends.
Oh,
So,
she is beautiful. You both are. You're both beautiful women. And it's so nice. I think it's so nice when you find peace in a person. So find
yes,
peace in a person is just, it's just something that we read about it, don't we? We see it, we see videos, we see whatever, and it's just like I feel like in real life it's quite hard to find that. So I think when you find it, it's something that you have to hold on to. Um, yeah, and also as well. So in regard to the manifestation part, how what was Annie like? How did she explain to you like when she said to you, "I manifested you"? Like
yeah.
what? Okay,
So obviously she was living in Wales and living her best life and doing all the surfing and just living life on her terms. She had
yeah,
everything that she wanted, but she realised she was just missing that one piece. She actually now was at a point in life where she wanted someone to settle down with, not necessarily get married to. She used to use the phrase wife as like a
yeah,
long term partner.
yeah.
And she told her friend in, I think it was like the October, we met in the August, in October like next year. Now I'm going to go find my wife. And she's going to have to be like this, and this. And I'm going to find her next year. And and she found me. But she had all this criteria of things, and I like ticked all those boxes. It was just it was just crazy. But yeah, she's a very much asking you shall receive, and
Yeah.
it happen. It works for her all the time.
Yeah,
So
because she
yeah,
believes, and I think that's the most powerful thing about the law of attraction. You can ask the universe all you want. The universe doesn't respond to demands. It just responds to energy. It responds to vibes. It responds to your level of confidence, and you have to
mm-hmm.
eliminate fear. Once you
That's it.
eliminate fear and
Doubt,
doubt,
eliminate
yeah,
fear and doubt.
yeah,
And that's what I'm learning now. It's like I've read all these books a million times. So like
yeah,
listen to these teachers, these whatever you want to call it, so many times. And I spent last week listening to so many audiobooks that I've listened to in the past. That before I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. But now I'm like, oh.
oh, that's
And
what that
exactly
means.
the same things I've heard before,
Yeah,
but like I'm like, oh, and I'm meditating in a different way now. And
okay.
I literally start every morning this 20-minute meditation, and I get up just feeling high. Like I feel high when I finish,
It's
just
the
like I just
best
feel so good,
feeling.
and I carry it through the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it
It's
was
the best
just
feeling. And I think, in regards to like I can relate to the book thing. I've read so many books throughout my time. I read the Four Agreements and I read it over and over and over again. And each time I read it, it felt different. And then I read the Fifth Agreement. I finished it last week and it was the fifth time I read it. And I was like, oh my God, this is what this is. This is what this means. Because I thought I understood it before, but I actually felt it this time. And I think
mm,
that's the power of words. Words are definitely spells, and you have to understand it, and you have to, because sometimes when we read things and we could have like a sort of element of disbelief. And it's like once you do that again, the fear and the doubt comes in. It's like, no, that can't be true. But it is. Oh, do you know what? Everyone in the comments, good evening to everyone in the comments. Yes, so I'm joined by Davina this evening. Davina, she's in Costa Rica, and yeah, and and I, I'm in Wales. No, do you know what? Let me not put my mouth on Wales because Wales is such a beautiful
it's
place.
beautiful.
I'm actually
Yeah,
quite lucky in that sense. It's such a beautiful place. There's lots of greenery, and there's so many places to visit, and it is actually beautiful. So let me not. But I mean, Costa Rica is just that little step better.
no,
But yes, no, we're just talking about we're just talking about Davina's journey and how she met her partner and how they ended up in Costa Rica. It's and also as well, like, so it kind of takes us in a little bit into our next topic. So how did you find what was it like, the benefit of like leaving the UK? I want to talk about how did your children feel? How did your
Okay.
family feel? Like, if you don't mind going into that, because I find it
It's all
so
right. That's okay.
interesting.
So I think the fact that I'd left the family home
Mm,
like 3 years before we even moved, I think only 4 years before we actually moved away.
yeah.
I wasn't living with the kids anyway, so we
Okay.
had so at that point, I met Annie like 2 years after I'd moved out,
Yeah.
and so they were used to not living with me. So we had, even though they were only like a 15-minute Uber away or whatever, they were used to not living with me. We didn't see each other that often because teenagers just got better things to do than to go out of the way to go visit you. But
Yeah.
we
True.
WhatsApped a lot. We spoke a lot. We actually, I feel like I bonded more with my son after I left because we had to have conversations rather than just sort of passing in the hallway and things, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, WhatsApp's amazing for any international relationship because you just, my daughter texts and calls. She's got a flipping spider in her room. It's still the same, yeah. It's still the same.
Not the
So I
spider.
cooked this for dinner and da da da, and so I get like we're in contact all the time. So we've been back a couple of times as well, and that's been beautiful. The reuniting with them physically is always like just melts my heart. Do you know what I mean? How much
Yeah.
they receive me still with so much love and they get it. Like
Yeah.
my daughter wrote something and I'll share it with you in the DM. She wrote something the other day. She had to write something about someone that she respects, and she's saying how she respects me because
Oh,
it takes courage to go and find happiness.
oh,
And
I'm
I was
gonna
like,
fill up.
she gets it. She gets it. So
It
yeah,
does take it takes so much courage to put yourself first and not worry about everybody else, because I think this is the thing we do as naturally as human beings and then naturally as mothers, and it's so hard because like I was in that kind of situation with my daughter's father, and I just wasn't happy, and he wasn't happy, and then our child wasn't happy. Even when she was a baby, you could feel it because it's energy, isn't it? And I think it takes a lot of courage and it takes a lot of strength to be able to step away from something and say, this is not for me and this is not what I want. And then you went and took it a step further, found the happiness, and then changed to a whole nother destination. And that, it does
yeah,
take courage, Davina. It really does. Sticky saying he thinks he remembers you from before. Of course you remember her, Sticky.
yeah,
She joined our life. She joined our quiz. She used to do lots with us, Sticky. But yeah, I just think, yeah, to that courage. And it's like, do you find like being out of the UK, do you find it's better for your soul?
oh, 100%. It's the lack of rushing. Like
Yeah,
when we've been back, you just notice you start rushing, you start consuming more. I mean, like we came back in, I think it was for March, the whole month of March we were in England.
yeah,
And I was depressed. Like I must have bought something from Amazon in every day just because it was so accessible. Something that, we need that. Yeah, click, click. We need that. We need that.
yeah,
Whereas here, we just don't do that.
yeah.
And also, just people when you're out, people are rushing on the phones. They're walking fast to get somewhere. Everyone's got somewhere to be. Here, we're actually on the Caribbean side of Costa Rica. So just
Amazing.
imagine being in the country in Jamaica. It's very similar, except you're
Okay.
surrounded by Jamaicans and Hispanics, or
Okay.
Latinas. So the culture is very eclectic, but like every restaurant sells rice and peas and plantain. Like every restaurant is the national dish. Um, and the music, it's just reggae music everywhere. It's beautiful.
So it's good vibes. Definitely
It's
good
good
vibes.
vibes. It's good vibes, and it's green as you can see. I mean, we get
Yeah.
in one of the trees in the garden, one of the trees behind me, we get toucans in there, monkeys, iguanas, squirrels at any given day, at any point in the day,
Oh,
like
so
literally right
how long have
there.
you been there?
Um, since last February.
Oh my God. So
Yeah,
that's your home. Literally your home.
yeah,
You get
yeah.
you
So
get
we
to
want to sort it out so that it's like a more permanent thing, and we get like all the paperwork and stuff done and that.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just going to read, we'll just read a topic. So, big up to everyone who's joined so far. So, Leslie Fuji says, exactly. I left a toxic relationship with my son's dad, and my parents couldn't understand why I left him because he's the father of my three sons. But my sons will tell you I made the right decision. This is it. And I think, when your children are supporting you on the things that you're doing in order to set yourself free, I think it makes it easier. There would
yeah,
be nothing worse, like, imagine you're in a situation and you want to get away from it, but your children are against you. And I think it's, kudos for the people whose children support them in those decisions, because that means you've raised your children to be very emotionally intelligent and understanding and
absolutely.
have empathy for each and every situation. They were able to take themselves out of it and say, okay, it doesn't work. It's okay for me, but it doesn't work for mum. Mum's got to go and do
Yeah,
what he's got to do. And I think that's so beautiful, man, that your children were able to embrace that. Really
yeah.
beautiful.
I just want to say it wasn't that it was like a toxic or abusive relationship. I
No,
feel for
yeah,
anyone who was in that situation.
yeah,
It was more of a case of I was so young when we got together, and obviously I grew up in the relationship. I grew up as an adult. I grew as a person. I grew in ways that we didn't grow together, and it got to
yeah,
the point where it just couldn't work, and they couldn't. And I also wasn't very good at communicating back then. I've done the work since, and I'm excellent at communicating in relationships now. When there's
yeah,
no when you can't communicate your feelings and how you feel, it breeds resentment and irritation and things like that. That unfortunately, sometimes you can't come back from, and feelings of
yeah.
like needing to escape. So
Of
I'm
course.
very fortunate in that I left the marital home so that there was less disruption to everybody else. Like, because that's the family home, right? The kids live there since we're tiny. So I left them in as much a, a unit as I could do and not
Yeah,
moving far. And
yeah,
they continue to be there. He's continued to be a great father to them, and they still live with their dad and that. So I'm very fortunate that I've been allowed to explore without resistance, and to live my
yes,
life without resistance. And I'm grateful. I give gratitude every day. I do.
yeah.
Yeah,
How did
yeah.
what was your your ex-husband like about you leaving the UK? What was his thoughts?
We co-parent. We're not besties, so we don't really talk. We still not got very good
Okay.
communication between us that way.
Mm,
So I don't really know what his thoughts were. But we were so over by then. We were divorced. I was remarried. There wasn't really. I, we don't need to have physical contact to co-parent because the
no.
kids are so old.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
don't really know what his thoughts were on it really.
And I mean, in the grand
Yeah.
scheme of things, it doesn't really matter because you're there and you've done it now. It's and it's like it leads me on to like I said, kind of another thing. Do you think, obviously with your situation with Annie, the way you met and it was such a beautiful union and stuff. Do you think, before meeting her, did you ever think, am I going to meet anyone? Am I going to connect with anybody? Because you've
Um,
been in a relationship because how long were you together from when you were young?
when I was 16 till I was 40.
This is what I
Yeah.
meant. I can't even comprehend that because you
I
don't
mean,
even look
in the beginning years between sort of 16 and 24, it was very much on and off in that sort of
Yeah,
90s teenage way. It's
yeah,
so funny because I made a playlist yesterday of all my trying to make remember all my old CDs that I had in my collections
yeah,
back in the day. And I was listening to all these songs. I'm like going, we really grew up with all these songs telling us that relationships were toxic. Like
yeah.
these R&B's, you listen to the lyrics, you're like, oh my god, we just
Awful.
subliminally we're told that we have to have like pain and arguments and this, that, and the other, and it
Yeah,
was kind of bred into us that drama was should be in our relationships, and I just
it
find that
was.
funny now because I can
Yeah,
laugh at it because I'm not there. But yeah, it was very
yeah.
much on off at the beginning. But yeah, from the age of we got married at 24, so I
But
was
it's
married from
really young.
24 through to 40. Yeah,
God, that's
um,
such a long time to
a long
spend with.
time. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a huge part of my life and who I am. Yeah,
yeah.
still.
But I always
Um,
believe we have to go through certain things in order to get to where we need to be. And I mean, it's you can take the beautiful parts of it and say you had your children. Do you know what I mean? You were blessed with that, but look away, your end result is so beautiful. It's
I
so
know, I know,
beautiful. Big up
I
Lemon
know.
Talks. Lemon Talks says exactly Bun 90s R&B. Do you know what? We really, and I love me a bit of R&B, but do you know when you listen to the lyrics now, you're just
I was
like,
like, what?
this is so bad. Do you know what I mean? Like it
I
was really
know.
like Ashanti. And when you listen
That's
to
this morning. Foolish. I'm like, what?
yeah, we was all foolish at one point. Damn foolish. Do you know what I'm saying? Sticky says those R&B songs with the rain and the music videos, yeah, all of that.
Mhm.
And the
All of it.
expectations on men to be able to come and sing their way out of they went and cheated, but if he comes and sings to me through a window, yeah, in the
Yeah.
rain, it makes it
And it's
all
all good.
okay.
Like, of course it does. Of
That's
course it does.
crazy. It's so crazy.
Yeah, that whole like moving on, and my parents were you asking about how people reacted to us. My dad's 84, I want to say 84. Yeah, he's 84
Okay.
now.
Yeah.
Right, and I literally this is so bad. I literally went round because we eloped as well. We just got married, just the two of us. We just went off and got married in the Lake District,
No
and
way.
I just couldn't be doing with the whole like this cousin's not speaking to this cousin and this got to sit here and invite this
Oh yeah,
person.
it's
And
long.
my family's huge. My family's
Mm.
massive, and whereas Annie's is very small as well. And we're just like, you know what, this is about us. We're just going to go do us. So we
Yeah.
had two friends who'd come to help us get ready, and just kind of we didn't even have a reception. They didn't even get anything to eat. It's like you come in to get us ready to go off and do
Yeah.
your own thing. They booked their own spa days because we went off into a spa lodge for the rest of the wedding day.
Oh,
So we had
that's
the registry office and
beautiful.
went to we booked like this private spa lodge and spent the afternoon like under the stars in the hot tub. And that's our wedding
Oh,
day. It was
that's
beautiful.
beautiful.
But
Yeah.
I remember going to tell my dad and saying, so I met someone, I'm getting married in a couple of weeks, and yeah, and it's a woman. And he was like, I had to sit down. So my dad's like, that's been in England since like 1956, but he's still got his strong Jamaican accent, and he's just like the
Oh, wow.
loveliest man I've ever met in my entire life. It's like he had to sit down. I've never seen him so silent. He had to sit down, bless him. And it took a while to get his head around it, but he was very nice about it. But now, and I know like tell people like, I just don't know. She was married for so many years, and I don't know. I just don't know. But we went to stay with them for a month, like I said, back in March, and we stayed at their house,
Yeah.
which was really nice because they got to bond with them. Every time I ring my dad now, it's like, "How's Annie? Where's Annie?
See,
How's Annie? Is she
this,
all right?"
this is what I mean. Do you know what I mean? Our parents are they're more open and placid than we think, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I think, I just believe that, a lot of people they have their views and stuff on, but I just think, as long as two people are in love and they're not hurting each other and they've made vows towards each other and they promise to take care of each other, it doesn't
That's
really,
it.
it doesn't really affect me. It doesn't affect anybody else. It's like,
No,
especially when the love is beautiful as well. And I just think it's so nice that you were able to connect with her and you two were brought together in the way that you was. It's such a beautiful thing.
it's just meant to
Um,
be. Yeah.
yeah. And what's meant for you is never going to pass you by. And I'm a
No,
firm believer in that. And especially when you've gone through so many years of not being happy because how much I always say to like I was having a conversation with a friend yesterday and I said how many of us can really honestly and openly say we're 100% happy. There's things that we all want to work on. There's things that we all want to manifest. And I think in order to do that, you just got to become the best version of yourself. You
that bit.
you have to, yeah, you have to take everything that you've been through as a person and say, do you know what? You can either choose to be a victim of your circumstances, or you can grow from it. And I think growing from your circumstances is the most beautiful thing because being able to tell that story or being able to sit with yourself one day and say, do you know what? I prayed for this, or this is what I wanted, and this is the life I deserve. It's about, I'm very big on affirmations and stuff, and I tell myself, and we got Blue in the comments. Blue's amazing, and she's got a book of affirmations and stuff, and every day she shares this affirmation, and she does it in a way that you're like, oh, I have to believe this about myself. Listen, and a lot of people will say, there's a thin line between ego and soul, but I don't think actually knowing or wanting better for yourself is ego. I
No,
really don't think it is. We
no,
know when it's
no.
coming from a place of ego, when it's made up of materialistic stuff, and when it's things that, just to kind of just be validated by other people. But when you want something for yourself, I think you're allowed to have it. But a lot of people feel guilty. There's times I'm like, do I really deserve this? Do I? And I'm like, yeah, I do. I actually do.
I think I've had that in the past, and I think that was sort of holding back a lot. I used to
Yeah,
really, really, I had a, I mean, I'm actually in a place for the first time in my life where I enjoy my mother. I
yeah,
enjoy her company. Like I
yeah.
left this trip like feeling very light, and I smile when I think of her. And it took me this long to get to that point.
To
And
get
part of that
there.
is seeing her through Annie's eyes, and part of it is the journey that we've been on, which was tumultuous for a while.
Yeah,
But I spent so many years, and rightly or wrongly, very concerned about others' opinions, like my mother's opinion, and impressing people and whatever, and doing the right thing, and not necessarily having things because I've never been that materialistic, but just doing what people thought. And the second I stopped caring about what people thought and doing my
yeah,
own thing, things started to work out for me.
yeah,
I actually stopped speaking to my mum for quite a number of years. And it's a
yeah,
shame, but in some ways, everything's a lesson or a blessing because it's got us now to a point where we understand each other and we've forgiven each other, and we're now in a new phase of our relationship where we can just enjoy our
yeah,
relationship. You
yeah,
know, and she's reframed it that I'm sensitive, so she doesn't say certain things, and that's okay as long as she doesn't say certain things, and we're all good.
yeah. Then you're good. And
But
that's what
we're
it is.
good.
That's what I
We're
mean.
good.
Yeah,
But it's stop caring about people. I don't know if it's a hitting 40 thing. I feel like people
yeah,
say the same thing, but just don't care what anyone thinks. And
yeah,
it's like you say, it's okay to want something, but I've never liked the idea of wanting something to because the Joneses have it or because
yeah,
it's going to be better. That people, I know some people who say they want to come and do what we're doing, but they couldn't do it because they can't at the moment. They're living in like a 3-bedroom house, they're single and don't have any kids or anything. It's like, well, they can't save up. It's like, well, it's downsized to a studio flat. It's just you, like,
yeah.
or whatever. If you really want to do it, you can find a way,
You
right?
can do it. People don't want it. They
Because why
don't
do you
want
have
to
all these
apply
things?
change.
Why do you have a £700 a month car finance, insurance, tax, or whatever, when you
Yeah.
could go and, I mean, I used to drive a little Peugeot one.
Oh, I think our connection's
Moving in a
gone.
circle. Yeah, I
Mm.
used to drive like a little Peugeot 106 because it got me from A to B.
Yeah.
It was cute, it was light on petrol, and yeah, I was earning 6 figures in the UK. I could have got a Range Rover or whatever, but
Well,
it
why?
wasn't
Why
what
you
I need. I
waste the
didn't need
money?
it. I just me on my, I didn't need it. So,
Yeah.
and I'm the same here. We've just bought a little bike. Did you see the pictures?
Yeah.
We just bought,
I saw your bike. Now
we
your
bought
bikes are
a
so
little
cute.
bike. It's so cute. It's bright pink. But we waited for that too because we wanted to be here a whole year to kind of get the lay of the land the whole year round, to see the seasons and whatever, and to see if we really liked it, to see what's happening with the house.
Yeah.
So now that we're more settled, we've got some wheels. We've got a little scooter that looks like a motorbike, but it's actually a scooter. It's got no
But
gears or
that's
anything.
But
Um,
listen, you know what? It's like you've got people who, they've got all the luxuries in the world. They got the car, the big house, the flashy clothes, the jewelry, and everything. But can they honestly say that they're happy? I don't believe that materialistic things buy happiness. That's just me. It's just how I've been brought up.
I'm not gonna slate anyone for wanting nice things because
Mm.
still want to like renovate this house and have like a nice big flashy bedroom suite and whatever, just nice things that make
Yeah,
I look around and I feel nice that I've got nice things. There's
yeah.
nothing wrong with wanting nice things. It's just the why. It's just if you want nice things because they make you feel good and make you feel like the best part of who you can be, then that's a beautiful reason to
Then
want nice
cool.
things, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
if having that handbag makes you feel like you're powerful and you're beautiful and you own them, buy the handbag, right?
yeah,
No whatever, there's no problems with that. If having that car
yeah.
makes you feel like that's who you are supposed to feel like, then have it. But it's just think about the reasons why you do flashy things. And
It's the yeah.
if it's stopping you from then following a dream like moving abroad or whatever, then everything's a choice,
You
right?
got to everything's a choice. And I
Everything's a
always say that
choice.
everything is a choice, and that you have to make that choice to make change. If you stay stuck in that cycle, that loop, you. I always believe that we're born. we live and then we die. It's what we do in between. And if you do it and you're not happy, what is the point? There's no point.
Hmm.
So it's like whatever suits you. Like what's for me might not be for the next person, and what's for you might not be for Tom down the road. But as long as you're doing what makes you happy, I
Yeah.
think the true art of happiness is it all starts with self. It does.
Yeah,
And
it really does.
if you if you've got that mindset where you're like, oh, I can't do this or I can't do that, or you're always trying to find reasons as to why you can't do something, then you just got to work on yourself just that little bit more. I do believe that. Oh, I'm going to read some of the comments. So Abigail
Okay.
Reed,
Hi,
writer said,
Abigail.
oh, bless her. She said, that's lovely that your dad is there supporting you. It is, it's beautiful. Lester Shuji says, especially in the black community, not everyone is supporting who we love. But when you have good people around you, it's so great. It is. And that's important. It's very important to have a loving family, supportive friends. And yeah, it makes such a big difference. Blue says, accolades and possessions are fine, but we must remember how great we are without them. It's,
Absolutely.
yes, yes, and yes again. That's the point. And it's like, you know, again, I'll always say this, Davina. I just take my hat off to you because, like, my dream, I got this whole vision, and I'll do it. I know I'm gonna do it because I've already seen myself there. I just feel like my soul needs to catch up. But I've always wanted to live in the Netherlands. And I'll tell you why. Because the first time I went, it felt like home. I knew where everything was. I sensed the place. It was so, and I've always had this reoccurring dream throughout my life, from when I was young, that I live in the Netherlands. And and I'm just like, and before I used to think, oh well, oh well, can I really do that? Oh, but what about my daughter in school and stuff? She's finished school now. I could do whatever I want. And the joke is, we had conversations. She was like, "I'd be there with you in a heartbeat. Let's go." Do you know what I mean? So it's like, and it's taking away that fear and that doubt, and just leaving yourself open to do new things, to make the move.
That bit.
If even if it doesn't work, you can always go back. You can always
Or
go
go
back.
somewhere else.
Or go somewhere else. Or change the plan. Change course is fine because that's what you did. You said, right, I'm gonna go somewhere else. And that's what you've got to do. So and Blue says it's not a dream, babes, it's a memory of a past life. I believe in those
Or
things.
memory of a future life. That's what
Uh, but
I was saying. Remember, you manifest and meditate on the future that you want.
yeah,
Think about how you feel in manifestation, and then you in your day-to-day life remember how you felt in your future life, and that's what will bring
yeah.
it to you. And that's how the quantum physics of it works.
Yeah, and it's such a beautiful feeling when you envision yourself there, and like I was reading this book called E Squared, and it says just sit in your
Yeah.
room, close your eyes, and then you're there, you're in that place. What would you say to yourself when you're there? What would you be doing? What drink would you
So
have?
how
What
do you
clothes would you be
feel? How
wearing?
do you
How do you
walk?
feel? Yeah,
Yeah.
everything. And I felt it, and it sends this tingling sensation through your body because you're like, oh my God, like I actually feel it. I see
I do
myself.
that
I see
every
it.
morning.
Yeah. Yeah. It's that like people don't realize how much meditation can really, really help. And it helps with so many things like meditation. I first got into meditation when I was so depressed. I was I suffered with depression for years and I was medicated and stuff. And I did a thing that is not good to do. I wouldn't advise anyone to do it, but I just took myself off the antidepressants. I gave my child to my mum for 2 weeks and I just went cold turkey and I said, do you know what, I'm doing this because I kind of I really got in touch with myself and I felt like I came face to face with myself. So I was like, this is more than the physical body. This is mindset. This is everything. That's what I did. And it was like meditation saved me. It literally saved my life. Like it was just so, I felt so calm. I felt so still to just be and to be present in that moment. And that moment is yours. No one can take it away from you. And I go to the Buddhist center now and I meditate there. It's like they're so I love Buddhists. They're just amazing. They just accept everyone. No one says anything to you. They give you a smile, they give you a hug, an exchange of energy or whatever. And they're just like, just do you. Do whatever you want to do. If you want a guided meditation, you can have it. I think guided meditations are really, really good. especially for me, someone like me, like my mind switches off and I focus on a
Me
lot of
too.
things. Yeah. It's because, and you're a creative and you create. So I think when your mind's creative, it's hard to switch off because you're
Yeah.
thinking about a million and one things at once. And yeah, I think meditation, it can aid so many things. Oh, big up vibes in the chat. Thank you, vibes, very much.
I watched a documentary on this weekend actually. I think it's been out for a while, but the guy, you know, have you heard of Joe Dispenza?
Yeah,
Yeah. So he's got a documentary out where he shows that he was basically doing a meditation, like a 1 week meditation thing that he runs all the time.
yeah.
So I think it's somewhere in South America. And he brought scientists and doctors in on it, and they were like really skeptical at first, but they proved that you can heal through meditation, especially group meditation. Like if you watch it, it's like there's no doubt about it. Like
Yeah.
they even got to the point where they had cancer cells in a petri dish, and they had people sitting around it, and the cells changed form.
But that's what
That's how
happened.
that it wasn't even just when
That
it's in the person who's receiving it; it happened in a dish.
But this is what I'm
Um,
saying. It's real.
yeah.
It's like it's even the thing. You know when they the one where they say if you talk to your plants and you water
Mm.
them and you tell them they're gonna grow, they're gonna flourish, they're gonna be beautiful. And then if you just leave another flat and you talk negatives to it and you say, oh, this plant's not growing, it's dying, it's doing it, it's gonna it's I think energy is such a big thing. Energy is
Energy is
healing.
huge.
It is healing when it's used in the correct way. I think, and it, like it even takes me back. When I was having a conversation with because me and my one friend, we talk about so many different things, and I was saying, even when people go to like AA meetings and stuff, and there's a group of them, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they're all there to heal each other because they're all going through the same thing. Their stories might be different, but the core value of it all is the same. So imagine a group of people coming together. It's so healing. It's definitely healing. Um,
Definitely.
Blue says, surroundings are so important. They are.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. And it's
And
like,
it's been the nature here. Like
yeah,
I
I was just gonna
naturally,
say,
and actually when we came, especially when we got back from England the last time, so
mm,
our second time here, um, I just started I did do yoga on and off, but I started just literally doing yoga every morning. I literally come out here on this bit of the veranda and do yoga every morning, just like
yeah,
20 15 20 minutes of salutations and whatever.
yeah,
And then that's when I started meditating, and then that's become like just part of my day that I've structured it. And I don't start my day until I've done that. I've done my reading, my yoga, meditation, and I'm looking at all this. And I just feel calm, like
yeah,
being in nature. Even when I was in England, in my house, I had like, Roxanne new build, 3 bed, brand new brick building in a cul-de-sac or whatever. But I had
yeah,
like a decent like lawn at the back, and I had a hammock in my garden. I used to go out, even the blanket, even in the winter. My
yeah,
favourite thing was my hammock. And I used to go out there in the winter and get the morning sun and everything, and just lie there and look at green. Like
yeah.
green's so important. Just to have that green lawn,
So
just I
important.
felt it made me just start the day right, looking at
Mm,
green.
yeah.
Something really, really, really big about that.
And as opposed to like, waking up and looking out the window, you just see brick walls and just road. And then you
Yeah.
wake up and you look out and you just see greenery. It's such a difference. It
Yeah.
does.
So
And I think,
have plants in the house, something, have some greenery, honestly.
yeah,
Makes
have
a difference in
something.
energy.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
is. It's such a very healing thing. So big up Shantae. Shantae says it really is healing. And Blue says our cells replicate the energy we feed the most. Yes. Yes, yes, and yes again. Leslie Shuji says
Absolutely.
she says meditation and breathing techniques defo are the one. They really are.
Mm.
And it helps with the mind, the body, and the spirit as well. Just to
Yeah.
think a lot of people spend so much time rushing around and we're forced to work and do all these things and to keep going and stuff, but if you just pause in that moment and take a moment for yourself just to be present and be still, it can save the whole day. It really
It
can, because
does.
it does.
I have more productive days to make sure that I've done it. Like, some mornings I meditate and I'm just like, you know what? That was just a waste of time. My brain was just doing way too much.
Yeah,
And I'll I've pause and then try again with a different meditation or something, or sometimes
yeah,
I'll just write it off, but just keep going. And but when the
yeah,
days when it's like really nice high and everything, then it depending on what I was meditating about or what I was manifesting, I will sometimes have a very productive work day because I do
so,
work here.
yeah.
I
I
do
know.
work.
She doesn't just live
I'm
life in the greenery and just chilling all day. Do you know what I mean? Eating fruits. That's
I'm
not
working
what
for
she does.
Tuesday. I'm freelance, so I
Oh,
can have days.
amazing.
Obviously, I'm not working today, so
Don't
whatever.
blame you.
Yeah, I do work, but I structure my day in a way that it suits me because I'm fortunate to have done that because I designed it that way.
That's
You know,
amazing.
I've done years of working long hours. I used to be an accountant, and then I was working in tech, and it was like long hours, month ends, and
Love.
all that. And then just like now, I'm like,
I
got to
think
take care of me
working
more.
for yourself, because I work for myself and it's just the best feeling. I absolutely love it. I love it when I can wake up and just say, do you know what? Today I'm not working today. I'm
Just
going to
have
relax.
it. Second day off.
I'm actually going to relax. And that is the, it's that freedom. It's having that freedom. And I sometimes even the other day I was talking to my daughter and I was like, remember when I used to get up at like 5:30 in the morning and I'd have to rush around, get ready, sort you out, go and open the nursery, do this, do that. And I'm like, I couldn't imagine my life being back there now. And it made me so ill. It made me so unwell. Like, I was exhausted and I was done in and I missed so many things. And it's just like now, but I know that it was all a process. I believe that you have to go through so many things in order to get to where you need to be. And it's just like now I just think to myself, yeah, I can never do that shit now. I don't know how. And then it reminds you of how strong you actually are as a human being in your human form. You actually, anybody who gets up, yeah, goes to work, works long hours, comes home, and then does that shit on repeat 5, sometimes 7 days a week. You're a strong person. 100%.
Absolutely. Do you think it's part of where you are spiritually, why you now work for yourself?
100%. I
Because you can
manifested
have the
this.
faith that it's going to work out as well. Because I think before the security of a job,
Yeah,
you're going to get a consistent wage every month, knowing, whatever this path, even though no job is actually more secure than your notice period.
yeah,
But but
it's true.
that whole thing, I think, definitely held me back for years of actually trying to break out of things.
Same.
And now I'm in a place where I know that the universe has got my back. Like, it's got
Oh, I
my
love
back.
that.
There's times when like we actually laugh about it because we've had a journey, and obviously
Yeah,
we've not been in normal working society for like the last 2 years, and we're
yeah.
still here. We're still managing it, and
And
it's
you're still
like
going.
it's because it's still going. It's going to only going to get better, bigger, and better because
Of course.
if you're obedient to the universe, just things will just happen. Things will just keep
Just,
happening.
me and the universe, yeah, we got this like this. I never love hate because hate doesn't come into it, but the two have to coexist. But sometimes I'm like, the universe, are you for real? Because even like talking about manifestation, and I've always said it, I'm retiring by the age of 45. I will retire by the age of 45. I don't know how, but I'm going to, yeah. And then when I was working with children, I was like, I can't just leave. What would I do? What was I do? And I panicked and I was like, oh my God. And it was like, but I was doing the whole vision board. I was writing things down. I was praying on things. I was meditating on things. And it was just like the universe, I felt like the universe was like, okay, so you're saying all this shit, but you're not actually doing anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a little bit of a kickstart. And then what happened is I just got ill. It was mad and it was crazy. I was about to go on annual leave and I felt really, really unwell when I was at work. And this was on a Friday. And I came home. I used to come home, drive home, sit outside my house for an hour every night and cry. I'd cry in the car
Oh
and be
no!
like, I can't do this. I can't do it anymore. But I would get up the next day and I would carry on doing it. And in the end, the universe said, nah, I need to stop you from doing this. So I got really, really ill. For 18 months, I was at home. I was ill. I was restricted. But within those 18 months, I was able to build something. I had so much time on my hands. And even though I was healing, but I was healing physically and spiritually as well, because I felt broken. And in those 18 months, I built the life I have now. I could have never, as much as I loved working with children, I had my reasons for working with children, because I always wanted children to feel safe and protected and to be seen, but I couldn't do it anymore. I'd done enough. And it was just like, how do I keep doing this job that is detriment to my own life and to my own
Mm-hmm.
health? And the moment like I got ill and then I was gifted all this time, it was like, and it was so weird because I was just like, I was doubting myself, and because what I do now, so I'm the gap between when your doctor refers you for counselling, I assess you, and then I fight for you to get that counselling. And I was just like, "Ah, I can't do this. And I was thinking, no, but no, Chid, you speak to people for free all the time and you give advice and people reach out to you and you do that. But I doubted myself. And it was like, I was having therapy myself. Um, and it was my counselor. She said to me, this is really weird what I'm going to say, but I feel like I should be talking to you. And that was my confirmation. I asked the universe, show me that this is what I can do. I have all the qualifications. I have everything. I went and did everything. I did NLP training. I made sure that I covered every avenue. And then I still had that doubt. And I was like, I can't do this. And then it was my counselor. She was like, yeah, I feel like I should be talking to you. I think this is something you could do. And I did it. And the way it just spiraled and it happened, it all fell into place. And I was like, okay, okay, universe, I see you. That was hard. That was tragic. That was tough what I went through. But I understand, like, because I'm here now, I know that I had to go through that in order to be at such a secure place within myself, spiritually, financially, and I'm just here. And I'm so thankful for that. It's a crazy thing. So yeah, I would say to people, the power of manifestation is real. Listen to the universe, man. Talk to the universe, God, whatever you want to call it. Just talk. There's a higher entity above us, and we can have anything that we can envision in our minds. We can have it. We just have to take away that element of doubt
You
and
have to
fear.
believe. You have to believe.
You got to. You
If
have
you
to
don't
believe.
believe it, you can't be on the same energy as it, so you can't get it. If you believe it without a doubt, that's why sometimes it's the things that you forget about. So things that you've put on your maybe vision board or something you thought you wanted ages ago, and then like years later you think, oh god, yeah, I really wanted that ages ago,
Yeah,
because you
yeah.
didn't let doubt stop. You might not even thought about it since you said it, but no
But that's
doubt
the
came crept
power.
into it, so it happened. That's the power,
Yeah,
the
that's the
absence of
power
doubt.
again. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sometimes like when I'll think of something. My daughter, yeah, she's 16. Oh my God, she is the biggest manifester ever. She has no fear and no doubt. And she's like, I'm gonna have it. I never forget when she wanted to be digital leader in her school. It was something to do with IT or whatever. And she was like, she came home, she said, they didn't give it to me. I didn't get it. And I said, well, it's okay. You can do it. Like, you're fine. You can do it. You don't need a little badge to say that you are something or you can do something. And she said, no, I'm going to school tomorrow and I'm getting it. So I was like, oh, okay. She
love
went to
it.
people happy, whatever. She came back the next day with it. Anything that child wants, she can manifest it within a heartbeat
Amazing.
and she's just, and I think, but when I think I'm so glad that I learned the things that I learned so I could teach her because I wish that because I thought I was crazy when I was younger. I thought I was mad. Whereas now I think it's something that a lot of people have tapped into and they understand it. So it's like, if you want something, you can actually go and get it. You can. I'm just gonna read a comment. So Vibe says, I remember when I first saw a therapist years ago, she suggested breathing techniques. um, I thought, what the hell is this crap? Now, honestly, exercises have helped me massively. Breath work is very, it can help. Trust me. In those moments, sometimes like I always say, because I got one family member who's very angry all the time, and I'm like, do you know if you just breathe and if you just listen to the sound of your own breath and you just kind of close your eyes, you're gonna calm down. And he was like, do you know what? When you just take a moment to breathe, it actually does work. It's the simple things. But, it's what you believe in, isn't it? It's whether people, if it works for you, it works for you. If it doesn't, then you have to find a way because we have to get through this thing called life. And it's like, and it kind of takes me into, like the sort of third topic is it. So I wrote it down as, are we as human beings becoming more connected or more isolated? What do you think about that, Davina?
I think it's I'm guessing there's something also to do with the whole like where we are in a technical age at the moment as well. So the fact that so many things are online. But in some ways, so being getting married so young,
Yeah,
having a really demanding career as I was a corporate accountant, it's just go, go, go all the time. And having young kids, my world was kind of like my husband, the kids, my parents because they were my childcare, and just that whole and work. That was my whole thing, right? So my actual social circle. I had my best friend since I was 12. We're still besties,
That's amazing.
and maybe like a couple of other people were coming in and out of my circle as time when I might have met them through work or whatever. But I didn't have a circle. I didn't have a community. I didn't have girls around me. The only girls that I
Okay.
had around me who I absolutely loved to death were family, cousins, because I was secure that it's an unconditional love, right?
Of course.
Um, um, but because of the internet, because of WhatsApp, because of Instagram, because my circle has expanded so much. Like I'm here in Costa Rica, I have clients all over the world,
Yeah.
you know, that I've never met in person. People
Yeah.
like you, I connected with, never met in person.
Yeah.
This is so funny. During lockdown, um, there was an Instagram account. I'm not going to name it.
Oh
That
God.
actually, not going to name it. I'm not going to name it. So it was a time. It's a time when everyone's isolated and people are frustrated and whatever. And
Good
then
Lord.
there was a WhatsApp group that was created, and it was a WhatsApp group, and it was a little bit raunchy. It was funny, and there was people in this group from all over the UK and America and whatever in this WhatsApp group,
Yeah.
and I made a friend in that group because the guy who actually ran the site, who was anonymous, he ran the thing
Okay.
anonymous. He was saying how he knew this girl from before, got to know me, and he's like, "You two, I think you two could be friends." And for whatever reason, we started chatting. We're still friends to this day. We have
Oh my God.
that group disbanded. We left that a long time ago because it was just too much. But we went on to become like accountability partners. She's very, very spiritual. Shout out to KTK Alchemy. She's got like this. She's amazing. And
Oh my God.
if I have any like spiritual questions or anything like that, I can reach out to her. Like time doesn't exist. She's a friend.
That's a real friend. Yeah.
And we've
That's
met
a
up
real
in.
friend.
I've been to visit her like twice. We have met up in person since then. But that's an example of that. Back when Black Girls Hike first started, I came across them at the very beginning. I used to be on every hike back in like 2000 and I want to say 19,
Yeah.
2018, 2019. I've met so many beautiful women through that, and that was
Yeah.
because of an Instagram account. Um, the there's another group that's running in Manchester Black Professionals. I went on that because I met that, so that through an Instagram thing. I became like one of the woman who runs it is like one of my besties now. She was at my
Yeah.
wedding.
Yeah.
It's just like I
It's a
think
big,
we're actually becoming closer. I
yeah.
think we're actually becoming more connected because we can connect without having to physically have the obligation to be
It's so
somewhere. So
true. And it's what you
definitely.
use it for as well. I think that, for me, like Instagram especially has been such a beautiful thing for me because I was born in London. Is someone say Mimsy
Mimsy,
Green
she's in the
said
group. She was in
she's
the
in the
group. Yeah.
group. Oh wow. I feel like I missed out. Like what's going on? I definitely feel like I missed out. But yeah, no, I think Instagram for me has been a great thing because obviously I was born in London, my mum lived there, and then when my dad passed, we moved back. My mum's from Cardiff anyway, she was born here. Um, but Cardiff's never really resonated with me. Um, in the sense of, don't get me wrong, I got loads of friends, and I know loads, and the whole world and its dog knows my mum, and she's quite a character. She's so funny and stuff. Everyone loves her, but I've just never been able to like fully be myself. Like, because it's such a small, close knit place. Soon as you say, because I say like spirituality for me is not a trend, is it? It's not a trend. It's something that has always sat with me. My dad was very spiritual. My mum's a very spiritual person, and I've always seen things and wanted to tap into things
Mm.
that were different from a young age. And it's like, people in the area was like, oh my God, Chiddy's a witch. Oh my God, she does these weird things and she believes she does tarot reading. Like first and foremost, I don't do tarot reading, yeah. Like it's nothing like that. I just believe in the universe and I know that everything that happens is for a reason. I know there is something bigger than us. I know that I'm just a spiritual being living a human experience. But for small communities like this, they're like, oh, it's a bit weak. But now everyone's on the hype. Everyone's on it now because it's great, innit? And it's been proven or whatever. But I just think Instagram for me was I was able to connect with people who think like me, people who are on the same frequency as me, people who are
Yeah.
on the same vibration as me, and even don't get me wrong, I've met some low vibing people throughout my time, but those low vibing people, they were necessary for my journey because I feel like I was able to tap into different parts of myself. That's when I really started to understand like how much of an empath I am and how much of, a healer I could be. And I started to learn about energy and energy vampires and people doing different things. And then I also, have been able to meet some beautiful women, especially because that's always been a thing for me. My soul's always kind of resonated with men, not in a sense of, I've been around or anything, but my dad passed at a young age. So I always craved that kind of masculine energy
Right.
in my life. So to have my bestest friend in the whole world, it's a woman and we've been best friends since we were 11, but she's very like sort of duality like me. We both sort of possess masculine and feminine traits. So for me, that divine feminine journey has been so tough not having women around me other than my mum and other than family. So I've now been able to connect. I've connected with people like Nad, Antoinette, some beauty yourself. Like I know that I could send you the most random. Even the other day, we were just talking. When I look back, I thought this woman must think I'm crazy, but you don't because you answer me.
Hmm. I
So
sent you a
it's
picture of
like,
bananas.
yeah. So I was just like, nah, she gets it. So I think it's really important to sort of, they say, who you are is what you attract and stuff. I don't always necessarily think that's true because I think we all have a different purpose and stuff. Like you could be the most amazing person on the planet, but you could attract the most scummiest people. But you don't know what your paths are supposed to cross because you are just my one of my other bestest friends. So Anne-Marie, she's in the comments, yeah. So the funniest thing, she's only a few years older than me, but she used to babysit me, which makes no sense. But and even with her, like we'll have this is the friend I was saying that I have crazy conversations with. We'll talk about things, but there's no judgment. It's just love.
No.
And we kind of understand, like, and it gets the brain thinking, whereas some people, they'll think, oh, that person's a bit weird. Or I think, everyone's a little bit different in their own way. But if you can connect with people that actually understand you, it's such a beautiful thing. And I think, I don't know, in terms of like people being isolated, um, because there's some people you see people with this whole notion or like, no new friends. I don't want no
Oh.
new friends. I don't want it. And I'm just like, surely you've not. Don't get me wrong. I was that person at one time. I was just like, I just don't want to speak to anybody. I don't want
Be
to.
careful what you wish for.
And it was just like, and do you know what? And I was just like, for me, I was doing it. I was like, I don't want to speak to anyone. I don't want anyone around me. And it was just like, the more I said it, the more people came. And it was just, but they were the wrong kind of people. They were the wrong kind of people. And I was like, but I'm saying that I don't want to be around anybody. I want solitude. I want to be by myself. I don't want to be on the same vibrational pattern as anyone else. But you've got to be so, so, so careful. You've got to be careful with your words because I'm saying I don't want, and okay, you don't want anyone around you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you the people who are wrong for you then, just to make your life a little bit more harder, just to make you learn, just to make you understand that words are powerful. So you've got to be very, very, very specific about what you say. So it's like,
Mm.
nobody wants to be on their own. No one wants solitude is great. Don't get me wrong. I love my own company, but it's better to say I attract like-minded people. I
That's
attract
nice.
people who will understand me. I will attract people that relationships that are reciprocal and it's not just me. Um, but yeah, no, Amory's saying, I'll always love you, my kid. There's times to isolate and times to be around people. Yeah, she did it on
Absolutely.
like it's so beautiful to have friends where if I'm going through something or I don't want to, she's like, yeah, we're going to the beach for the day. We're going to the beach. We're going to act like kids. We're going to go to the fun fair. We're going to go on the beach and we're going to scream and we're going to let it all out. And it's beautiful to have friends like that. Sometimes you can be around people and they'll just want to suck the life out of you, or they like to
Hmm.
see you there in that
They drop off
position.
though, right? I
Oh,
found those
yeah,
people dropped off
yeah,
naturally, and it's
yeah,
okay. I haven't missed them.
No,
at all.
no,
I'm not missing
no.
at all.
You can't miss them because you know when they're not there, you kind of remember how much like I've had people and I'm just like and I'm like, oh, I haven't spoken to that person. And then it made me sort of realize how much anxiety I had around the friendship. They'd phone and my heart would be like, oh,
You
what
know,
now?
there's certain people's energy you're around, and I mean, I used to hang around with someone not too long ago, a lot, and I realised afterwards how lighter I felt when we naturally just drifted apart, stopped talking, and I
Yeah.
realised that I've been very one sided.
Mm,
I know how I was being used and stuff, but I'm a giving person. I kind of allowed
same.
that, but I just realized that the actual energy had never made me feel comfortable. They'd say certain things. I remember just being uncomfortable, just a feeling of discomfort in their presence. And
Yeah.
I didn't have the confidence or the courage to pull myself out of it proactively. But I'm
Yeah.
glad but the universe took care of it anyway. And
Yeah.
now I don't entertain relationships like that or friendships like
And
that.
yeah, and
You
that
know?
is it. And I think that's why I say it's so important to have reciprocal friendships. Like I'm like yourself, I'm a giver. I always give. I give and give and give and give. You know, if anyone's around me, I always try to make sure that everyone eats, everyone's happy, everyone's safe, everyone's. But that is at the own detriment of my inner peace. It really
Yeah.
is every time, and it's just like, and like lately, over the past couple of months, I sat and I prayed on things, and I was just like, you know what? I gave all this love, and it's not, I don't give love to receive it back. That's not what I do. I'm
No.
just a natural lover in it. But you know, when it gets to a point where it's like, no, these people are actually using you. This
Yeah.
person is
Or the bad
not,
mind as well towards you.
and yeah, or you know, and it's like all of a sudden, everything's cool, or you think everything's cool, and then they tell you about yourself, or you could have an argument and something comes up, and I'm just like, whoa, you must have been thinking that for time. And I also believe as well, a lot of people hate the way other people love you. They hate that.
Mm.
They hate to see your elevation. They hate to see you actually growing. And you know, with me, if people were in my brain, they would think, oh my God, she is crazy. Because I literally don't take a blind bit of notice of anyone or anything. I'm literally in my own world, like most of the time. And it's just like to think that somebody could be sat there, like kind of hating on you. I just pray for them and pray that they heal from,
Exactly.
because that's that
It's
time.
their pain, their problem.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I think I feel confident and blessed that I don't have anyone in my sphere like that
Mm,
anymore. I so two of my closest. So we've been gone now for coming up nearly 2 years. I don't know,
yeah.
whatever. Well, yeah, it's a long time. I think it was August 2023. We left
Yeah.
the UK,
Yeah.
and not a day goes past that these two women are not in my DMs, even if it's just memes, right? Not a
Yeah.
day goes past. And when I do go back to the UK, it's straight away, okay, when can we meet up for a meal? When can we do this? Like, and they are bona fides. And I met them just before lockdown, like maybe
Yeah.
2018. These two are, they just never forget me. And it's
That
beautiful. And
and
they
that's
actually
beautiful.
met each other through me. And yeah, I mean, they've got so much else going on, so many other friends themselves. One's like
Yeah.
literally out every night, do something, but they haven't forgotten me, and it's not outside out of mind. And I think that's just so beautiful to make
It
those kind of
is.
connections in this day and age. And I think that's why we we are more connected than ever we want to be
Yeah.
now than
It's
we were
true.
before.
Yeah, it's so true. And I think that, because we got different means and ways of connecting too, it's just like, that's why I always say to people, don't even trip about the people who are around you and have consumed so much of you and you've loved them and they haven't given back. Don't worry about those people, because sometimes we are sent to people. I put a video up the other day just saying sometimes we're sent to people need love. They need guidance. They need assistance. They need to see themselves through the eyes of somebody else, especially if they're, maybe a little bit of a low vibing person or they're at a crossroads. Sometimes they need to experience good people. And also, as well, I always say to people, never feel hurt because the love wasn't reciprocated, because everything you saw in that person was just a reflection of you anyway. It's yourself you're seeing in them. From the time you can see something good in somebody, it exists in you. And I always try and remind people of that, because I think the world is so kind of strung up on, outside validation and all of those things. You can't. You have to validate yourself. You have to. Big up Kim each and every time. It's just like Kim, you're a blast from the past. I haven't seen you for a long time. But yeah, man, even Kim's been rocking with us from lockdown days when we used to do the lives and the quizzes and stuff. But it's just it's those connections that you make that make it all worthwhile. It is. It's beautiful. So Davina, I have a little scenario for you. It's
Okay.
to the usual ones that I put out because sometimes, and honestly, people do question me and they say, "Are those scenarios real?" And I'm like, "Yeah, trust me, Wales is a crazy place. London too, but Wales especially." But this is a scenario. This is something sent in by a friend of mine. Um,
Okay.
he will remain anonymous, but yes. So just a bit of advice, please. So here we go. So, I've been with my partner for 6 years, and a really good opportunity has come up for me to go abroad and teach English to children. The contract is for 2 years and is something I've always wanted to do. My partner was all for it when I told her about it, but the other day I read her diary. Yes, I know I
Oh.
shouldn't have read it, but but in there she basically wrote how she really doesn't want to go abroad with me. She's acting like everything is okay and she's excited. But do I confront her about it? It's really getting to me because why is she lying? What would you do?
Okay, so she's not saying she doesn't want him to go abroad. She's saying she doesn't want to go, right?
Yeah,
So I guess um, if it was me, I would bring up a conversation about um, how it might look as a long distance thing.
yeah,
So maybe I don't know how far they're going away, but like how about obviously I know that you still got your job here and blah 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 blah. We could maybe what if we would you how would you feel about I don't want to assume that you want to uproot everything that you've got here, so how would you feel about we travel backwards and forwards, maybe you come out for like a couple of weeks and then we do a weekend every month or whatever or something, or we try and make something work where just for the 2 years we managed to do it long distance. How would that feel for you? I don't want you
yeah,
with me, but I'm just being mindful that you've got your things here too. That's how
yeah,
I would because she's not
yeah.
saying she doesn't want him to go, she just doesn't
She's
want to
just
go.
saying that she doesn't want to go, and
Yeah.
it's like, and it's a hard thing because I mean, it's tough. I would always say to be honesty is the best policy. Sometimes it's going to hurt someone, sometimes it might upset people, but you have to be honest. You have to be true to yourself because what could happen is if, say she did move away with him, she could end up resenting him and think, well, I uprooted my whole life for 2 years just to, and also as well, there's that whole thing where, sometimes people will go away to work for some time, but they end up loving the place and they stay there.
Well,
So,
that's how it's meant to be. I had lots of opportunities before to travel for work, before I got divorced,
yeah.
and I took some of them. I was supposed to go and live in America, in South Carolina, North Carolina, whatever, one of those two,
Yeah.
um, for a role. And I was even looking at apartments and stuff, but it just that something happened with the visa and it ended up not going. But it was
Yeah.
never a question that I wasn't going to go and take the opportunity, especially
Yeah.
if it was just a 1 year thing or whatever, and it was going to make money and be an
Yeah.
opportunity. Then you make it work. It's not you're not especially if it's a 2 year thing. You're not saying you're leaving the person. If you're confident in the relationship and
Yeah.
it's got legs, it's got future, then it's you let the person grow. And if they're not meant to be together, then they won't be together. But
Then they won't be
you
together.
have
And that's the
you
thing.
can't cage someone. You can't cage someone, and you can't force people to do what they don't want to do.
And
You
that's
know.
the thing. It's again,
Yeah.
it's that fear. It's that fear of you've just got to trust the process in these things. And I think, yeah, okay, he shouldn't have read her diary. He should have never have read her
No.
journal. That's out of order. And I wouldn't
Bang out of
I,
order.
I don't know, would you admit that? Would you admit to your partner, look, I read your journal? I I don't think
No.
I would either. I wouldn't. I
There's
would
no coming
really.
back from that. That's
No,
out of
there's
order.
not. Because then that just breaks a whole nother level of trust, doesn't it? It's like, okay, I
Yeah.
think some things, like, as much as I'm very honesty is the best policy, there's some things you don't, you can leave a couple of details out. He doesn't need to know that you went and read her journal. Because why did you do that? But then for me, my thoughts were, why did you read her journal? You had doubts too. You were looking
Mm.
for something because her journal's been there all this time. She's always had one. Why now? Why now are you
Has
looking
he been
in
reading
there?
it the whole time? Have you always
He
been reading it?
he says he hasn't because I asked these
Okay.
questions, best believe, and he was like, "No, something just told me it was just there," and I just thought, let me just look because she's not
That was wrong.
saying, yeah, it is wrong. I
Or did
wouldn't.
she leave it? Or did she leave it there to be read?
This is it. It could be. So this is why I say you have to have a conversation about it. You have to talk. You can't forget what you just read, especially if she's acting like, oh yeah, yeah, I can't wait to move wherever and we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that. And then it's like, but really, she's not really on it. She's not really trying to do that. So what was she gonna do? It's so hard. You need to have a conversation because what was she gonna do? Like go there and then say, oh no, yeah, I don't want to do this.
I'm glad he knows because I've been in that situation where I'm planning to go somewhere, planning to start a new life somewhere else, and the other
Yeah.
person is playing along, but then they turn around and go, actually, you know what? No, I didn't really want to go. And then it's
Yeah,
like, right, that's happened. So it shouldn't have read it, but they need to have that conversation soon because
yeah.
they need to know where that's going, where this is if this is growing together or apart, can they last the 2 years
This is
distance?
what
And
I
if they do,
mean.
amazing. And if they don't, then it just wasn't supposed to be that way. It plays out the way it's supposed to play out.
This is what I mean. And I said to him, you read it, you've got this knowledge now, you know what's going on. So you need to just speak to her and just be honest. Just be honest and just,
Absolutely.
even if just say, look, how do you really feel about going? Because it is a big move and I've been thinking and you've got this going on and whatever. Yeah, it's definitely a conversation. So, sir, if when you watch this, have the conversation, have
Have the
it.
conversation.
Yeah, it's very important. Oh, Davina, do you know what? You're one of those people. Like, I've been so, because obviously we do the podcast sometimes, we have lots of people on the panel and stuff, but I absolutely love doing these one to ones. And I've always wanted to do a one to one with you because I think you just display so much good energy, like even through your
Oh,
post,
thank
the
you.
advice that you give people with businesses, just everything that you do and everything you put out there it's never, I've never looked at any of your posts and thought, oh my God, this person's just like, what's going on? She's depressing or whatever. It's always uplifting and um it's always like you give information and it's helpful to other people. And I just want to say, like, thank you so much for coming on and just being truthful and just being and sharing parts of your journey with us because it's such a big thing to uproot from the UK when that's all you've known and to just go and live in a totally different country and just go and live a totally different life is absolutely beautiful.
Do you
I
know what
love
it is?
it.
People think that people plan to do it and plan to retire in Jamaica or wherever. And it's like, I'm going to need to have X amount of money to build
Yeah,
the house in the gated community and do this and do that and do that. But what do you actually really want? Is it that you want the experience of living somewhere? Because there are different ways of doing that.
yeah.
You can stay in a hostel for £10 a night.
This is
You
what I
can
mean.
work in a bar. You can do it. There are different ways to do things depending on what
Yeah.
it is that you want and why you want it. So
Because
it
people
just
spend so many years like saving up and they don't get there because they're worried about that side where I think, to have that courage to be able to just take that leap of faith and just say, I'm doing it, I'm going. Because what is the worst that can happen? You're not going to know until you try. So, like, again,
exactly.
I commend both you and Annie. Like, I know Annie, you can already pick up on Annie's vibe. Annie's ready. Annie was already there in her head.
She was there. She was good.
Yeah, she was
It
there.
just case of
She was definitely.
picking a country. She's
Yeah,
gone.
she just had to pick you up along the way, grab you, and then you had to go. But yeah, I think it's so brave and so beautiful what you've done to put yourself first and think of yourself on one good, good things for yourself, and to find love in a person who absolutely adores you and who loves you back. Yeah, that's such a beautiful
It's
thing.
it's it's the most wonderful thing in
Do
you
you
know.
still
There's
like?
this
Do you have moments where you like kind of still like pinch yourself a bit and think, "Oh my God, this is my
every
life."
day. We are the most sickeningly lovey-dovey couple you've ever seen in your life. We walk
I
around the
love
house going,
that.
love you, kisses, like all day long.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Yeah, the love of just just it's beyond anything I've ever experienced or known or be able to articulate. That love, it's it's on a par, obviously different to a child's love. You know, that unconditional love
Yeah,
where you and your child just like, and they just love you because you're their mum. That's
yeah,
it. There's no it's
yeah,
just and this person just loves you because you are you, and it's just I'm blessed. I am so blessed to have both those types of love in my life. I really am.
yeah.
And I still have the love of my parents too, which,
That's what I
like I said, now
mean.
I'm
Yeah.
enjoying, and it's great. You
But
know.
love is a bit, this is what I mean. Love is a beautiful thing and it can make or break you. And you've made it. You've done it. You've done what we're here to do. This is what we're supposed to do as human beings. We're supposed to love one another, take care of one another, and create a life that's, and create memories with each other and to just live this whole experience. Don't get me wrong, we have our ups and downs in life, but when you've got love, like a loving partner, loving family, and just loving friends, you're good. You're good
Mm-hmm.
regardless. You're always going to be good. And do you know, like when it comes to the end of every one-to-one discussion I do, I always ask my guests to just give like some words of wisdom, um, just for the viewers out there, or it can be anything. It could be anything. But if you've got any words of wisdom or words of advice that you can give to the people out there,
I'm going to carry on from what we've been talking about and just say, um, if you want something for yourself, the most important thing is to believe that you can have it, to have the faith and believe that you can have it, and not to doubt it, and then just let it happen. You know,
yes,
and
yeah,
things will just start happening for you.
they
But you have
will.
to really want it. It has to be something you want for yourself, and you have to believe that it's possible.
Yes, 100%. I will second that. Yeah, it's just like, if you can see it in your mind, you can definitely hold it in your hand. But you have to remove the doubt and the fear, and you have to just leave it to the universe, and everything will just slot into place. It does eventually. And people say, oh, it's never going to happen. No, just stop. Take a deep breath,
Yeah,
count to 10, and just carry on with your day. And then before you know it, you've met the love of your life, you've got married, and you've moved
yeah,
to Costa Rica.
yeah,
It's so amazing, absolutely amazing. Well, thank you, Davina. Thank you always. I'm gonna have to hound Annie and get her on and get her version
yeah,
of the story.
yeah.
It would definitely be lovely to talk to her. But it's been beautiful talking to you. Such a beautiful soul. Um,
You too.
so oh my god, the no truth bar, big up her each and every time. He says, I love that idea. When it comes to our vision, I think the hardest part is having the faith. It is. It is. Oh, Amarie says you made her
Oh,
faith link. Oh,
bless.
she's so soppy, she is. She's such a lover girl as well. But it's just beautiful to see two people in love living the dream. You're literally living the dream, and yeah, man, you deserve it,
Yeah.
though, Davina, because you wouldn't have attracted all of those things and you wouldn't be living the life you are now if you weren't the person that you are. So you're a
Oh,
beautiful
thank you.
person inside
Thank
and out,
you.
100% always. But yeah, oh god, I'm looking forward to watching this back. It's been great. It's been another great one-to-one. I will be back next week. I've got another lovely guest next week, so I will be back. But yes, thank you to everybody in the comments that have watched, everyone who's viewed. Without you lot, sometimes, do you know what? You lot
Oh,
join in. They add into the conversation, don't they? And it's
yeah.
Davina, you've made everyone cry in the comments. But you've also given everyone hope as well. Anyone out there, yeah, if
Good.
you didn't have any hope, you're definitely going to have hope after this one. But yes, it's
Yeah.
been a great
Move to
one.
Costa Rica, grow some locks, do some meditation.
Get
Sorted.
in, eat some fruit, and you'll be good.
That's the one.
But yes, Davina, it's been great. Thank you so much. And yeah, we'll still talk and we'll catch up and stuff. But yeah, I'm looking
Okay.
forward to this episode coming up. It's going to be a lovely one. Nice.
Lovely. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, you're
It's been a
welcome.
pleasure.
Anytime you're welcome. It was needed. It was way overdue. Way overdue. But, but yes, my love, you have a lovely, well, what time is it where you are actually?
It's 3 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I'm going to watch Love Island.
All the way in Costa Rica and you're still on the Love Island thing. I love that. I love that. Oh, Mimsy says, definitely renewed my spirit. Thanks, ladies. You're more than welcome.
Oh,
More than welcome. But yes, I'm glad you all
lovely.
enjoyed, and I shall see you all on the other side. And I'll speak to you soon, Davina. You take care,
Okay.
okay? Bye, my
Okay.
love.
Bye. Bye. Bye.